Hello friends, today's topic is how earthquakes occur, how to mitigate the devastation caused by earthquakes. My lesson plan includes why it is in use, a structure of the earth, lithosphere, how earthquake occurs, why did the earthquake occurred in Myanmar on 28th March 2025, the distribution of earthquake zones in the world, distribution of earthquake zones in India, effects of earthquakes, and how to mitigate the devastation caused by earthquakes, and finally conclusion. Friends, as you know that on 28th March 2025, Myanmar, our eastern neighbor, witnessed a devastating earthquake having a magnitude of 7.7 at the Richter scale, and thereafter the shocks of 6.4 of magnitude. The epicenter of the earthquake was 11 miles away from the second largest city of Myanmar called Mandalay. You may be knowing that Mandalay is famous because of the incarceration of the great freedom fighter Bal Gangadhar Tilak, who remained in jail for long period of 8 years from 1908 to 1915. The earthquake killed more than 1600 people, injured more than 3400 people, 139 people are missing, and it is estimated that more than 10,000 people have been killed due to this disaster. The aftershock was felt even in Thailand and the capital city of Bangkok, where it is reported that more than 10 people were killed. Several skyscrapers fell to the ground. Thousands of buildings collapsed. Bridges were drowned. Roads buckled across Myanmar. Friends, as you know that Myanmar is being ruled by the military junta. It is a poor country having low resources, and so it is beyond its capacity to tackle the disaster of such magnitude, and that's why the Myanmar government sought help from different countries of the world. The government of India started the Operation Brahma to give assistance to the quake hit people. It would start hospital. It has sent 3 aircrafts loaded with food items and different kinds of items useful for quake hit persons. India has also dispatched rescue and response teams. The US, China and other developed countries of the world also gave assurance for full help to the Myanmar government. Friends, as you know that more than 20 lakh Indian citizens are living in Myanmar, but so far no Indian citizen have been killed or injured. Friends, in order to understand the mechanism of earthquake, it is necessary to have the knowledge of the structure of the earth. As you know that the structure of the earth has 4 layers. The upper layer is called crust. The second layer is called mantle. The third layer is called outer core, and the fourth layer is called inner core. Now, friends, what is a lithosphere? Lithosphere consists of the crust and the upper portion of mantle. Upper portion of the mantle is composed of solid, rigid upper mantle and asthenosphere, that is semi-fluid. So lithosphere is solid as well as brittle. It is divided into various rigid pieces called tectonic plates. These tectonic plates float on asthenosphere, which is composed of semi-fluid material. The thickness of lithosphere has 100 km in ocean and about 200 km in continent. It is because of semi-fluid asthenosphere and convection currents that lithosphere float or move continuously. The interactions between different lithospheric plates, that is also called tectonic plates, cause earthquakes, volcanic activity, high mountains, and the formation of high trenches in the ocean. There are 7 major tectonic plates in the world. These are Pacific, North American, South American, African, Eurasian, Antarctic, and Indo-Australian. In addition to these big tectonic plates, there are numerous minor tectonic plates also, and some of the important minor tectonic plates are Indian plates, Caribbean plates, Sunda plates, which covers the area of Southeast Asia, Java, Sumatra, and Borneo. Arabian plates, which covers majorly the Arabian Peninsula. Now, question is how earthquakes occur. The most important theory about the occurrence of the earthquake is tectonic theory. As I have already said that there are several tectonic plates in the world. These tectonic plates move continuously, and if one tectonic plate crashes with another tectonic plate, this is called convergent boundary. The heavier plate is subducted beneath the lighter plate, thereby releasing energy which causes trembling on the earth or the shaking of the earth, and this is called earthquake. When two tectonic plates move apart, this is called divergent boundary. It causes fault line, thereby releasing suppressed energy, and this causes earthquake. When one tectonic plate slides past another tectonic plate, this is called transform boundary, and when a part of that plate is struck with another plate, it leads to shaking of the earth, that is trembling of the earth. The earthquake caused in Syria and Turkey in 2023 was due to sliding past of one tectonic plate by another tectonic plate. In addition to the tectonic theory, there are other causes for the outbreak of earthquake. These are volcanic eruptions, the area of intense mining activities, nuclear explosion or implosion. Earthquakes are also caused by the construction of big dams or large reservoirs. Now question is, why the earthquake occurred in Myanmar on 28th March? Friends, as I have already told you that the epicenter was Sagaing fault line. It is the boundary line between the Indian plate and Sunda plate. It is a right lateral strike slip fault in Myanmar where primary movement is horizontal. It means the block of the earth crust moves side by side parallel to the fault line rather than up or down. The displacement is caused by the shearing of the forces. The Sagaing fault line is about 1200 km long. The fault line forms the boundary between the Burmese subplate, which is the extension of Sunda plate, and the Eurasian plate. It accommodates the northward movement of Indian plate relative to the Sunda plate. Friends, as you know that Indian plate is moving every year 5 cm northward. The tectonic interaction result into significant stress in the fault line. When there is too much stress to have frictional resistance at the fault line, it erupts and releases energy, and this causes trembling or shaking of the earth or earthquake. Now friends, what are the distribution of earthquake zones in the world? There are 3 important earthquake zones, and these are circum-Pacific seismic zone, alpine continental belt, and mid-Atlantic ridge is mostly submerged in water in Atlantic Ocean. Circum-Pacific seismic zone is also called ring of fire along the Pacific Ocean, and this area causes more than 80% earthquakes, followed by alpine continental belt or zone. And this area has 17% earthquake incidents. This area stretches from Europe to Sumatra via Mediterranean, Himalaya and into Atlantic Ocean. Friends, now I discuss about the distribution pattern of seismic zones in India. India has been divided into 4 important seismic zones. The most extreme areas affected by earthquakes are in the Himalayan region of Jammu and Kashmir, Uttarakhand, Himachal Pradesh, the entire northeastern region, Kutch in Gujarat, and Andaman Nicobar Island, and some portion of the northern part of Bihar. Altogether, 11% of areas extremely affected by earthquakes, and these areas fall under zone 5. Under zone 4, which have less severe earthquake prone areas, constitute 18%, and under zone 3 there are 30% areas covering under earthquake prone. So altogether 59% areas in India are earthquake affected zones. So what are the effects of earthquakes? Number 1, tremors on the earth, landslides and mudslides, soil liquefaction, ground displacement, floods from dam failure or upwelling of reservoirs. Another impact of earthquakes are structural collapse, tsunami, falling objects or skyscrapers, outbreak of fire because of short circuit, differential ground settlement, avalanches in mountainous regions. Now I switch over to the point as to how to mitigate the devastation caused by earthquakes. Houses or buildings should be constructed in such a way that they should withstand the seismic forces. Implementing and enforcing strict building designs to cope up with the stress of earthquakes. Site selection and foundation. This means to avoid construction on sites where there is loose soil or clay that amplify seismic waves. Avoid construction of building or houses near fault lines, unstable soils and areas prone to liquefaction. Early warning systems through radio, television or mobile phones, so that people should take protective measures in advance. Quick response and mobilizing of resources will further reduce the devastation caused by earthquakes by saving the precious lives. There should be preparedness to meet the consequences of earthquakes. The rescue team and response teams should be prepared in advance and put in ready position. These teams should be provided training on regular basis. Hospitals, emergency response centers and utilities should be established on permanent basis to respond to the disaster caused by earthquake. Educating communities about the consequences of earthquakes would further reduce the devastation. Sharing knowledge, resources and technology with neighboring countries and international organizations with regard to earthquakes resistant construction, retrofitting, that is strengthening existing buildings and infrastructure to withstand earthquakes. Implementing proper land use policies so that there should not be any construction activities in high risk zones. Continuously updating of maps pointing out the seismic hazards to guide urban planning and infrastructure development. Friends, now I conclude. Earthquakes cannot be stopped or prevented because these are natural calamities. But by the process of systematic earthquake resistant constructions, we can mitigate the impact of earthquakes. The quick response to evacuate the quake hit areas and the removal of debris would help the lives of people trapped therein. The international help and coordination among different agencies would further help in speedy rehabilitation of earthquake hit people. So friends, now I have concluded my lecture. If you have any suggestion, please give me feedback. Thank you very much.